Hello everyone, Catweazle here, welcome to the channel and welcome back to Arkham Horror, the living card game and Night of the Zealot, where we're going to crack on with episode 3. We're actually on turn 4 and we're going to begin with the Mythos phase, but just before we do that, let's have a quick recap of where everybody is. Roland Banks, our lead investigator, is here in the hallway, and Wendy Adams is currently in the attic. We have the parlour, but it has a barrier in front of it, so we can't quite get in it yet. And we have the cellar, which we haven't investigated yet, as well as the parlour, but we can get into the cellar. That doesn't have any barrier, other than we've got no weapons. So that is the reason why dear old Roland is holding off a little. Right, so let's crack on with turn 4, and that means the laugh and chuckle phase. And here we are at the laugh and chuckle phase. First thing we've got to do is put a doom token on the agenda. Oh, that means 3. We have 3 doom tokens, which means our agenda has been met. Let's put those over there. So what's going on? It's got a 3 on, it means we flip it. So we've got a lapse in time. Your house continues to change before your very eyes. The walls have decayed and the ground in many rooms has turned to dirt. It is almost as if you have been transported somewhere else entirely, although every now and again you recognise elements of your former home. The lead investigator, Roland, must decide and choose one of these. Either each investigator discards 1 card at random from his or her hand, or the lead investigator takes 2 horror. Well, this is a no-brainer, because he cannot afford to lose 2 horror. So we're going to discard a card each. So let's bring this out of the hand. So these are all Roland's. Let's give him a shuffle. It's at random. I'm allowed to shuffle. So here we go. And we'll do a cut. And the card we discard is physical training. Could have been worse. We could have been getting rid of something like vicious blow, which indeed was the second card. So there we go. Let's put these down. And we've got to do exactly the same for Wendy. And let's do a cut. And she discards backstab, which is a real pain. That is a horrible card to lose, but there you go. Derringer could have done with losing that. So unfortunately she's lost one of her best cards. We could have lost the knife as well. Never mind. Right, so that is it for that. What else we've got to do in the Mythos phase? Well, we'll see what the new agenda is before we get on to drawing cards from the encounter deck. Agenda 2A, Rise of the Ghouls. The floor beneath you is giving way and you see a vast network of tunnels twisting into the darkness below. Shapes and silhouettes of strange creatures move swiftly through the tunnels, trying to find a way up. You probably don't want to be here when they do. No, I don't suppose we do. It's got a nice doom track, I suppose you call it, of 7. So that's pretty good. Put that there. And right, that is it, I think, for the... No, of course it isn't. We've got the most horrible bit. We've got the actual encounter deck. I've moved the encounter deck over here so I'm not continually leaning over the camera. So here we go. This is for Roland, an icy ghoul. Brilliant. So, oh, look how tough it is as well. It gets 3 combat, it's got 4 health, and it's got 4 to evade. This is a really nasty monster, and he's got no weapons. I'm going to spawn it in the cellar, so at least it doesn't like attack him straight away. Inside the tunnels beneath the house, a massive beast tears its way out of the ice. It's covered in a thick layer of frost, its breath visible from the bitter cold. It's got a victory point and does 2 damage and 1 horror. What a horrible, horrible, horrible enemy that is. So that goes there. Well, it is going to go there. Spawns in the cellar. What we're talking about. Won't go into his threat area. Spawns in the cellar. There's nobody in the cellar. Don't listen to me. It's in the cellar. Next up, we have Wendy. Oh, she gets a ghoul minion. So, brilliant. At least this is a bit easier. So, got 2 on the combat. It's got 2 health. And it has 2 to evade. It's humanoid monster ghoul. It was a colossal and nameless blasphemy with glaring red eyes, and it held in its bony claws a thing that had been a man, gnawing at the head as a child nibbles at a stick of candy. HP Lovecraft Pickman's model. So that does 1 damage and 1 horror damage. Now, this will go here, and then obviously it will engage with Wendy, which is bad because we want to pick up those 2 clues. So brilliant, we've got monsters all over the shop. Fantastic. What I'm thinking, yes, we'll go to the investigator phase next before we get into any of that. So next up, the investigation phase. And here we are at the investigation phase. So I think we will have Roland go first. Now, what is he going to do? I think first of all, he's going to try and draw a card and see if we can get a weapon. So, top card, come on. He gets guts. So, gives him 2 willpower anyway, so that's pretty good. Trait innate. Max 1 committed per skill test. Well, we've only got 1, so that's not a problem. If this test is successful, draw 1 card. Stay back. I'll handle this. Right. If you say so. Right, so he's drew guts. He's going to draw another card. We just desperately need to get a weapon of some sort, even if it's just a knife. So let's draw again, and we get, at last, so he's got machete. So it's not as good as having a firearm, but it's better than nothing. So it's got a combat icon, costs 3 to put into play. It's an item, weapon, melee. As an action, you can fight to get +1 combat for this attack. If the attacked enemy is the only enemy engaged with you, this attack deals +1 damage. Brilliant. Cuts through vines, underbrush and tentacles equally well. Fabulous. So we'll put that there. Now, can't really... He's only got 2 resources, so he can't equip it straight away. So I think what we'll do is... He's going to use that, he'll equip it next turn and try and take this icy ghoul on. So I think what we'll do in the interim is we're just going to take 1 more card. No use in moving anywhere. If he moves to the cellar, he'll get attacked in the enemy phase. And really, moving to the attic, he'll lose I think he loses a sanity for going into the attic. So he's just going to draw another card. Draw another card rather than draw another resource. And he gets... Yes! Brilliant. No wonder they weren't coming out. They're all stuck together. So 45 automatic. So that's an agility icon. Item, weapon, firearm, uses 4 ammo. As an action, spend 1 ammo to fight. You get +1 combat for the attack, and the attack deals +1 damage. But this is exactly what we want. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Well, I've done the same again. Where I've drew 2 8 cards, so I'm going to have to discard 1. But the fact is, I was just desperate to get weapons, and we've got 2 good weapons there, so that's fine. We can always get rid of something like... I don't think we particularly need magnifying glass anymore, so we can get rid of something like that, I think. Okay, so that's what he's done. He's just been running around the hallway trying to find all his weapons, and he's found a couple, so that's brilliant news. Next up is Wendy. So what's she going to do? Well, she needs to escape this ghoul minion, I think. So she's going to try and evade it. So she has got 4 agility. This is 2, I think. So that is a -2 or better. Are we going to throw anything at it? We could automatically evade with the stray cat by paying 1. Discard stray cat, automatically evade a non-elite enemy at your location. Let's give it a go first. We'll just give it a normal go. We want a -2 or better. And we have got the rabbit's foot, so we will get a free and a redraw if we want to do it. So what have we got? -2, that's good enough. Brilliant. So where did I put it? Oh, put it here. There it was. So that gets exhausted. Brilliant. So we don't have to worry about that for the rest of this turn. Next action. She's give the ghoul the slip and she is going to try and get a clue. So let's have a look. We'll just have a normal look. I think it's only got a shroud of 1, so it's -2 again, isn't it? So -2 or better. Ooh, I think that's a -2 now. I think we've just done it. Let's just managed it. Cowled figure, -1. Oh, it's -1. That's cool. Ah, it's the skull icon I was thinking of. This is a -1. We didn't fail, so we don't take 1 horror. So that's cool. We get that. Puts us up to 3. And we're going to do exactly the same again. And search. I think she'll be able to evade this ghoul a couple of times, so we'll keep her in the attic. If we didn't have the... In fact, just before I pull that, if we didn't have the icy ghoul down here... Oh no, what am I talking about? We're not going to send him into the attic because he automatically loses a sanity. So we won't send Roland. Right, here we go. Now that's -2. We've got 2 ghouls. -2 is what we need. So pick that up. And that was our final action. And that is the end of the action phase. Super duper smashing, lovely, great. Next up is the enemy phase. And here we are at the enemy phase. Now we've got 2 enemies, but this guy is exhausted, so he's not going to do anything. And this guy down here, he's alone in the cellar. He hasn't got the hunter keyword, so he will not be moving closer to any of the investigators. He's going to remain pottering around in the cellar. So let's move forward and go to the upkeep phase. And here we are at the upkeep phase, so let's reset all our actions. First of all, there we go. We can unexhaust any cards. So this guy is unexhausted, and again he will come down here and engage Wendy, I believe. So there he is. Anything else? No, I think that's it as regards unexhausting cards. Then we have got each investigator will draw a card and gain a resource. So a resource for Rowley, and he will gain a card, which is cover up his weakness. Brilliant. So this is a task. Revelation. Put cover up into play in your threat area with 3 clues on it. We'll just read the rest. As a reaction, when you discover 1 or more clues at your location, discard that many clues from cover up instead. Forced. When the game ends, that means the end of this, like the gathering, not like the whole campaign. When the game ends, if there are any clues on cover up, you suffer 1 mental trauma. And this part of the gathering as well, you know, this is what we're playing. So Doesn't count for Midnight Masks or the Devourer below, just the Gathering. So we need to get rid of that. And it needs 3 clues on it. So this is just a time wasting mechanism, yeah? When you could be picking clues up, you're discarding clues off there. So that's a bit of a downer. Right, next up is Wendy. So she gets a resource. She's up to what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 now. We'll have to try spending some of these because her weakness is to lose all her resources. Well, not her personal weakness, the weakness that we drew out of the weakness deck. I think it's to lose all resources, so we've got to spend these babies. And we get, ooh, leather coat. Combat icon, item armour. The coat was not the most fashionable choice, but it did feel warm and reassuring in its bulk. Oh, good. So, can soak up 2 damage. Excellent, and it doesn't cost anything. That's okay. Right, so we do that. Very good. So, oh, I think one benefit, I think, of getting cover up is it's gone straight to my threat area. So I don't think I have to discard any of these because I've still got 8 in my hand. I don't think it goes into your hand and then into the threat area. Let's just read it. Just says, put cover up into play in your threat area with 3 clues on it. So it doesn't mention it going into your hand. Yeah, it must do that, because if it came into my hand before I had to put it into the threat area, I'd discard it. I'd say, oh right, bye. So obviously, in order that it doesn't get discarded in that way, I think you put it straight into your threat area. So at least it's one minor silver lining is it meant I didn't have to get rid of one of these cards. I think so anyway. If that's wrong, I'm sure you'll let me know. That is the end, I think, of the upkeep phase, and that is the end of turn 4. So I think what we'll do is we'll carry on. We'll go straight into turn 5. So if we have made a balls up, I'm going to go through. But let me know, and we'll see if we can. You know, we might be able to roll it back. We might not. We shall see. But let's crack on with turn 5 and the laugh and chuckle phase. And here's the laugh and chuckle phase and turn 5. First thing, Doom token on the new agenda. There we go. After that, we have, let me just check, advance the agenda, but no, we're not up to 7 Doom on it. And each investigator draws an encounter card. Roland gets Grasping Hands, Treachery, Hazard, Revelation. Test agility at 3. For each point you fail by, take 1 damage. Because it's damage and not horror, I think that's not too bad. So his agility is 2. That's 3. Have we got anything with any agility icons? Well, we've got guts, but I don't particularly want to use that for it. So, yes. We'd need a +1, wouldn't we? We would need a +1, and there's not much chance of us getting a +1 icon. Chaos token. Oh, I've got to play guts. Yeah, I've got 8 cards anyway. Let's play guts. So we'll put guts up against it. So that's 2 willpower. Oh no, it's agility. Idiots! Tell it's my first game, can't I? Right, agility. Well, he's got no agility icons, so we've had it. Well, he has on his 45 automatic, but he is not going to use that. So it's just a straight test. There's nothing we can do. We need a +1. He's not even got any clues at his location, so the Elder Sign won't help. Come on, a +1. Oh, -1. In fact, that's cost him 2 damage, isn't it? I needed a +1, -1, that's 2 damage. We could have done with getting a 0. So he loses 2 is down to 7 health, and we can get rid of that. And then it is Wendy. Whoa, that's 2 cards. And Wendy gets Ancient Evils, nice. Omen. Revelation, place 1 doom on the current agenda. This effect can cause the current agenda to advance. Dark forces stir against you. If you do not act quickly, a sinister plot will be fulfilled. Well, you don't say. Right. So we put another doom over here. So that's 2. Well, at least it didn't advance the agenda. Okay, and we didn't get any more minions or crap like that. That is the end of the Mythos phase. So next up, the investigation phase. And here we are at the investigator phase. Been having a bit of a think. What we're going to do is, first of all, Roland's going to go first. And he is going to gain a resource to get 4. Then for his second action, he is going to equip the automatic, which costs 4. But we'll put, rather than put them in the supply and take them out again, we'll put all 4 on there, because that's the ammunition for it. So that is 2 actions. Now for his third action, he is not going to go down the cellar, because it's just free attack city from during the enemy phase from the icy ghoul. So he's got 1 action left. So what to do? I won't pull a card this time, because he has got 7 cards. So I think the only thing we can realistically do, if he's not going to move, is to gain another resource. We could do with some emergency caches coming out. Now the reason I've done that is because he needs at least 2 attacks on the icy ghoul. Now he could have spent 3, got the machete, moved into the cellar and attacked, but there's no way he'd have got 4. Even if he'd have succeeded, he'd have got +1 damage from the machete, 1 damage that he did himself, so that's 2 damage. We could have discarded Beat Cop for 3, and perhaps done Vicious Blow for 4, but we're getting rid of a load of cards that would have been useful for later on. So I thought, let's take it easy. It means we're going to have to take another hit. You know, we're going to have to take another Mythos phase. But at least this way, he's got his 45 equipped, and next turn he can get in there and he will have at least 2 attacks, all things being well, and we don't get some horrible Mythos draw. He can get into the cellar and move for 1 and then attack the icy ghoul twice, and hopefully he'll be able to kill it. So that's, I think, the way that we'll do that. So that is his go, because we picked up, yeah, third action was picking up a resource. Right, now we've got Wendy. What's Wendy going to do? Well, first of all, she's got to evade this guy. So it's -2. Her agility of 4 against the ghoul minion's agility of 2. So we need a -2 or better, and we get a -1. That's fabulous. So this guy gets evaded again, and for her second action, she's going to move. So she's going to move down here next to Roland and tell him about all the clues that she's found. For her third action, let's see if she shouldn't. We'll spend some of these resources just in case her weakness comes out. So we could leather coat, we'll put that on later. I think we may as well. She may as well get armed, I think. So let's put the Derringer into play. That is costs 3 resources and it's 3 ammo. So at least our investigators are both armed. She's not particularly going to use it, I don't think. But if they both go into the cellar together, then perhaps if Roland misses or something, then Wendy may be able to get a hit in. So you never know, you know, maybe just a little bit of damage will be enough to take out this icy ghoul, which looked pretty horrible, to be honest. Right, so that was her second action, was it? No, first action was to evade, second action was to move, third action was to equip the Derringer. Yeah, I think that's it. She'd need another action to put the coat on, even though it doesn't cost anything. So I think that is pretty much it for the investigation phase. Let's move on to the enemy phase. And here we are at the enemy phase. So the one in the attic is exhausted again, so we can forget about that. And the icy ghoul in the cellar is in the cellar. It's not a hunter, it's not moving anywhere, it stays down there. Brilliant. So that is it for the enemy phase. So let's move into the upkeep phase. And here we are at the upkeep phase. So first things first, we have to refresh actions, of course. Then we have to refresh any cards. So Mr. Ghoul Minion is back up on his feet. That's that done. Then it's resources and cards. So a resource for Roland, and he picks up his top card, which is First Aid. Not bad. Uses 3 supplies, costs 2. It's another willpower. If First Aid has no supplies, then discard it. As an action, spend 1 supply, heal 1 damage or horror from an investigator at your location. Brilliant. So we'll put that down there. We'll put the supplies on it once it gets... what is it? Once it gets used. We're not using it at the moment, it's just in the hand. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8. Brilliant. Right, after him it is Wendy again. She's up to 4 resources. And what else do we have? Another card. So her card is... oh, brilliant. Leo DeLuca. He costs 6 though. Bam! The Louisiana Lion. So, and he's an intellect icon. Traits, ally, criminal. You may take an additional action during your turn. Immense. Extra action. I was born in Mississippi. Louisiana just sounded better. So, confers 2 damage and 2 horror that we can put on him. As long as it's not direct horror or direct damage, we shall definitely be looking to get this guy out. We need the extra action. So she's got 4 resources, she needs 6. So, well, actually, what can we do? She could get 2 resources next turn and then put him into play. Get the extra action. And then move into the cellar with Roland. But she won't be able to attack or anything. We'll have a think about that in the interim. So I think that is it for the upkeep phase. Yep, her hand size is fine. Okay, so good 2 turns. Well, good-ish. Finally managed to find some weaponry. Leo DeLuca's brilliant. That was a really good end to the turn for Wendy. And First Aid wasn't bad either. So pretty good. It looks up a bit in that last turn, and particularly in the upkeep phase. The ghoul should stay in the attic. That's fine. Oh, one thing, we got all the clues, didn't we, in the attic? So that means we get a victory point. So I know what I'll do. I'll take this D10, put it on a 1, put that here, so we know we've got a victory point. Right. So yes, pretty good, pretty good. We've got to get in the cellar and we've got to kill this icy ghoul. If it was a normal ghoul, Roland would have gone in. He probably wouldn't have even bothered, you know, equipping his gun or the machete or anything. He'd have just gone down there and punched it to death. But unfortunately, this icy ghoul is pretty tough, so I think we're going to have to at least spend 2 actions trying to get rid of him and 2 bullets, which is unfortunate. I'd rather save the bullets for the big bad, but, you know, 2 bullets out of 4, we'll still have a couple left. So, yeah. And it's a victory point as well, so at least if we do kill it, we get an extra victory point. Right, as I say, that is it. So if you've spotted any errors, I have rattled through this a bit, and I haven't played for a couple of days. It's Mrs. Catweazle's birthday, which is why I've been away. Well, I haven't been away, but I've been doing other things. So, happy birthday to her. And, yes, so I've come back, and then I've rattled through it, and I've probably forgotten something. But, so if you have spotted anything, please let me know, and I will try and fix it. Hopefully, nothing too major. And if I spot anything myself in editing, expect some text to go past. I may have made some major tactical errors. So if you've spotted anything like that as well, please let me know. It'll be part of my learning process. Thanks so much for all the views, for the subscriptions, for the likes, and for watching. It is much appreciated, thank you. As ever, anybody who's been across to Board Game Links to upvote the site, thank you as well, that's marvellous. And I hope that you will join me next time, where we will be doing episode 4 of Arkham Horror, the living card game, Night of the Zealot, where we will be up to turn 7, and we will be kicking off with the laugh and chuckle phase. But until then, this is me, Catweazle, signing off. Toodaloo.